Well, hello and welcome back to the Focus Shed. It's me, Paul, and I'm here now to share with you how I did last week. So let's bring it up, shall we? By the way, if you're watching for the first time, don't forget to give us a like, will you? So, first up in goal, Jordan Pickford. Cheeky little one-pointer. Not the best. 2 goals conceded, an own goal, but somehow, well, 6 saves actually, he managed to get 1 point. Let's not dwell on it too much. He is on the chopping block. Possibly. Estupinian, 2-pointer. Again, no return. Wasn't expecting one this week. It's more hopeful, to be honest with you. And then Ben Chilwell subbed off again on the 60th minute. A 1-pointer. A little bit worrying moving forward, but he is still playing in that left midfield role. Although Chelsea lost again, so it'll be interesting to see what happens moving forward. But he's not top of the list at this moment in time. Getting me another attacking return. Again, no clean sheet, although Spurs have had 2 this season out of the 4 they've tried to get. So maybe not as leaky defence as we first thought, and this could be an even better signing moving forward, as clean sheets seem to be very hard to get hold of. But yeah, Destiny, you doggy, getting me another assist. So very happy with him there. Odegaard. I think I celebrated when this goal went in, to be honest with you. I said in my videos last week, I think he was going to score last week. He does like to against the bigger teams, shall we say, or in the bigger games. And he managed to get one this week as well. Now, I was watching Odegaard a lot during this game because anybody who watched my bus team video, he was one of the people I was thinking about taking out for James Maddison, possibly. That was before any balls had been kicked this weekend. But no, he did get me a goal. And not just that, Arteta changed the way he played with Partey being injured. I'm not saying it forced his hand, but I think it did. And they basically went back to the Arsenal of last season that was doing really well. Gabriel came in. Ben White went to right back. Zinchenko was at left back. The only person missing was Granit Xhaka, and Havertz played his role. He might settle in soon. We shall see. But Odegaard, I didn't stop watching him, and I'm telling you now, he just kept picking up positions all on the edge of the box. And he wasn't just picking up the positions. It was on his own. The amount of times the ball was either people were looking for him, so Martinelli or whoever was looking for him, or he got into that space. And when he got that goal, it was his just reward, and he could have had a few more because he kept getting in that position, and we know he can shoot from distance. In fact, that's where most of his goals come from, the edge of that box area, and he was there all the way through the game, in and out. I don't know how many times he popped up in that little space. So, yeah, he's probably going to stay in my team. You can probably tell I was very impressed with him. He's back to how he was. Saka got a yellow card, but got an assist in there. Still ticking along nicely. One of the better performers in the game, certainly returning a decent amount of points. Phil Foden with another assist. 5 goals, though, and didn't get in on the goal action. Got to say, a little bit disappointed with that. But can't be greedy. Maybe he's not the player to have. Maybe there'll be more assists from him and not as many goals this season with Alvarez playing as well. Want to keep in mind. Rashford, again, another goal. And Højlund came on in the second half as well. There was 1 point in the game where Rashford and Højlund were running down. And Rashford probably would have had another assist if he'd have passed it to him. But I think he was just like, oh my word, there's a striker running alongside me. I'm not used to that. I didn't really know what to do. So I'm interested to see how that affects his game. Will he start to get a few more assists? But will that mean less goals? I think the team was sort of set up for him to score goals last season. The likes of Wout Weghorst not scoring, but making that space and holding that ball up and creating that room for him to run on into. Bruno Fernandes with a 2-pointer. Didn't really get any goals this weekend, any attacker returns. Very mediocre in midfield, to be honest with you. Although I got 2 assists and 2 goals in there, but still not great. Captain Haaland on 40 points. Very happy to have him there. Wish I'd triple captained him. Did consider it, but it was only a very small consideration for a very small amount of time, so I can't say that it was. And then Julian Alvarez, 14 points. My hero of the week. My biggest support for gaining rank was him, so a massive thank you to Julian. Just interested to see now Europe is on the horizon. How that fares there, and is a triple City attack the way to go? Are Phil Foden and Alvarez going to play in every game? Possibly not. So something to be considering moving forward. On my bench, one of the only point scoring goalkeepers of the week, Turner. I think he was on a lot of people's benches, was only in 1% of teams last week. So he was one of the only ones. So he will play next week for me, I would imagine. Jared Branthwaite, my bench signing, just in case a City player gets rested or anybody else, came in with a 0-pointer. But he did play again, and that's what we're looking for from a 90 minutes player. And hopefully there will be routes to more points moving forward. Particularly as Bayer, my other £4 million defender, actually did worse on -1. That's after conceding 5 goals to Spurs. And my other attacker, still not getting the minutes really. 0 points. Mbama from West Ham. Their fixtures do turn, but I'm not sure how many minutes he's gonna get. He got quite a few mid-season. Maybe his time will come closer to Christmas. Yeah, we shall see. So yeah, that's how my team got on last week. A total of 88 points. Took me up to from the 1 million sort of mark to 353k. So a nice little rise there. Very happy with that indeed. So what are my thoughts then going into this week? Well, originally, if you watched my bus team video, I was considering removing Estupinian and possibly bringing in Trippier, but I did a little bit of research, and short version is I'm not going for that. Not at this minute in time. Not been good enough. If you want a little bit more detail as to why, go back and check my bus team video. I'll leave it at the end of this one because there's a little bit more in-depth analysis on that one. But midfield, I was thinking if I was bringing a midfielder in this week, it would probably be James Maddison. But the performance from Son and the position he's playing in a team that is the joint top scoring team in the league at this moment in time with Man City on 11 goals, I've just got to get a Spurs midfielder in, and it has to be Son. But who for? That's what I can't decide. Let me show you what I've been looking at this morning, shall I? This is where I've been. This is the FPLfactory.com. Their player comparison. This is free, by the way, so if you're looking for a website that you don't have to pay for this sort of thing, this is one of them. And I've just basically put in all their details at the top here. This is per start. So obviously we have to take into account on this one that Foden didn't start one of the games. But the points, like what I like here is you get a lovely green box that shows you which player is the best in this department. And as we can see, when it comes to points, which is the currency in FPL, overall, it's Saka with 25, followed by Odegaard, Foden, Rashford, and then Fernandes on 18. Minutes played, they're all there or thereabouts, apart from Foden, who wasn't feeling very well, but did come on in that game anyway, and got an assist too. So they've all started all 4 games apart from Foden, already discussed. Bonus, the only one not getting any bonus so far is Rashford. And the bonus point system, as you can see, he's much further down on that list. But at the top of that, it's Saka. Lots of green in the Saka column on this. Goals scored, again, Saka and Odegaard at the top of that one. In terms of returns, Foden yet to get off the mark, which makes me think this is his week. Rashford and Fernandes getting 1 each at the moment. However, you look at the expected goals, Saka's round about where he's at. Odegaard had a penalty around about where he should be at. Expected goals is 2 from Fernandes. So maybe there's, he's not quite performed. Look at the XGI for Fernandes and Saka. 3.76 for the pair of them. So I think there is some good returns to come from these two. Like I said earlier in the video, I am keen to see the impact Højlund has. I think my thoughts are it's going to be really good for Fernandes, and Rashford may struggle to get as many goals in this team. That's my thinking at this moment. I might be completely off on that, but that's just what I think. Yeah, it's a tough shout. So I really don't know. Ideally, I don't wish an injury on anybody, but If one of these players gets injured, that makes my life so much easier. In terms of ICT index, it's Saka all the way. He's having the biggest influence on the game. He's having the biggest creativity, biggest threat. Overall, biggest combined score. Fernandes coming in second. Then Foden, Odegaard and Rashford down the bottom. Goals conceded. No one's had a own goal. No one's missed a penalty. United, though, 7-7. And they had Johnny Evans and Harry Maguire playing at centre-back for them this week, which was just, felt very bizarre. City only conceded 2 all season. Foden's only conceded 1. Arsenal conceded 4. So it's a very tough shout. And I can't make my mind up, hence why I went looking at this. One thing I will say is the players, I think, definitely stay in my team. I think it's between Foden and Rashford. And I think it could end up being Rashford, but it keeps changing. It started off as Odegaard at the beginning of the week. Then it was Saka because Odegaard can cover Saka. Then it was Foden because I started worrying about his minutes. Then I started thinking Rashford might do better, and now I'm thinking he might do worse. I really don't know is the answer. It's what I'm going to do yet. But what I do know, as long as there's no injuries to other parts of my team, is that it will be Heung-min Son that comes into my team this week. I made a sensible transfer last week, bringing in a bench player. And I don't intend to do the same this week. There is a part of me that keeps thinking maybe I should bring in Archer for Mbama and just tidy that bench up, leave it looking nice so I don't have to worry about it for a period of time. But I also think that sometimes you need to attack, and this feels like Sheffield United at home for Spurs just feels like one of those games. Yes, I've got Udogie. I just feel like I need to be in on it a little bit more. And it's just deciding who comes out. Right, that's it. If you want to tell me down below in the comments, I'd really appreciate it, who you think, but not just who. Tell me why. Who you would bring out of my team for Heung-min Son. That's it, guys. Thanks very much for joining me. That was my week. 88 points, 353k. On to game week 5. I shall see you here back in the shed for more videos between now and then. Take it easy. See you later.